going on, guys? The Comics Kid 2099 here. I have got a super quick recommendation for you guys. A movie that I watched last night, Bad Times at the El Royale. I remember when the trailer for this movie came out, and I thought that looks really interesting, and then, like an idiot, I let this movie go right by me. I watched it last night for the first time, and I really like this movie. I'm going to try to keep this video as spoiler-free as possible. If you have any way of watching this movie, if you didn't when it first came out, I would recommend it. This is directed by Drew Goddard, who is an alumni of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I like his work, what little of it I have consumed, but this movie is, I guess the best way for me to describe it would be kind of like the movie Clue, but not as funny. There are some funny moments in the movie, but this is not a laugh-a-minute movie like Clue. I would not classify this as a comedy. This is much more of a serious movie with some comedic elements in it. But this is a really interesting story set in the 1960s, so if you like the aesthetic of the 60s set in California around that time period, then this is a movie you're definitely going to want to watch. A lot of people, you like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies because of the soundtrack choices. This has got some choice music in it, some songs I had never heard of before. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of music from the 1950s, but there is one song that plays at the very beginning of the movie that I've already listened to 3 or 4 times since watching the movie. I like that song. I'm really appreciative of this movie introducing me to some new songs, new for me, that I had never heard of before. This is probably going to be one of those movies that you watch it the first time and you're really going to love it, and then you watch it the second time and you might start asking yourself some questions like, wait a minute, that doesn't really make sense. So now we are fully into spoilers here. So the premise of the movie is that 10 years before the main action of the film, Jeff Bridges and Nick Offerman from Parks and Recreation robbed an armored car, and then Jeff Bridges went to prison, and then their plan was, we're going to go to the El Royale Hotel and we're going to split the money there. So Nick Offerman, at the very beginning of the movie, we see him burying the money in the floorboards of one of the rooms at the El Royale Hotel, and then he gets murdered. And then the rest of the movie takes place 10 years later, and we slowly find out about all these people who are all coming to the El Royale at the same time. None of them are as they seem. There's more going on with each of them than what we are initially told, and it's a really interesting movie. It constantly keeps you on your toes. I know I've already gotten past the point where I'm making the sell, but this is one of those movies, if you are, like me, you aspire to be an aspiring storyteller, then this is a really good example of a story that is constantly throwing new wrinkles of conflict into the story. If you've ever watched a movie or read a story and you're thinking to yourself, this is really boring, this needs more juicy conflict, this movie does a really good job of about every 10 minutes throwing a new obstacle for our characters to overcome. And it does it so much so that I almost wish at times that the movie would slow down a little bit. Since we're already in spoilers, John Hamm is in this, and he plays an FBI agent, and spoilers, huge spoilers, he gets shot maybe 20 minutes into the movie, and then he's not in it anymore. And I was really wishing that we could have seen more of his character. I was interested in more of what he was doing at the hotel. And then, spoilers again, Nick Offerman, he gets shot in the opening scene of the movie. We don't know who shot him. Was it someone who was looking for the money that he buried? If it was the people who own the hotel, they have ways of spying on their guests at the hotel, so they should have known where he hid the money. So who killed Nick Offerman? There are questions like that that you might start to ask yourself the more you watch this movie. But I still really love this movie. Stylistically, I think it's very interesting. Like I said, it's kind of like Clue, except not nearly as funny. But this is definitely one I am going to seek out and add to my collection in the future. I regret not watching this when it first came out. This one was kind of a bomb. It didn't quite make back its budget. It almost did. And I hate that because I think that this came out, I think, was 2017 or 2016. I can't tell. It looks like maybe 2018. I think this movie is very interesting, and I can't remember every movie I watched in 2018, but I definitely enjoy this as much, if not more, than some of those from that year. year. So that's about all that I have to say about Bad Times at the El Royale. I enjoyed this movie. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I didn't spoil too much of the movie. And I will see you guys in the future with more videos. In the meantime, have a great rest of the day. Catch you later.